Good morning, everybody. How long have we been waiting for this? I'm trying to get all my overlays up that are correct. I am so glad, there we go, that you are joining us today. This makes me very, very happy. Okay, let me get you over here. Boy, if anybody had ever told me that I'd be doing this today, I'd say, no way. So I am really excited about the 2025. I want to say 24, but no, okay, we're doing pick a pedal right now. And I'm so glad everybody has been so kind and patient and all of that. But whoop, I'm a meanie. A meanie. So I want to show you a couple slides, and then we have a person that we're looking for in the quilting world, and I'll get to that in a moment. Okay, so Carol, look at all you people. I love this. Oh my God, this makes my heart beyond happy. Okay, so this is Carol, and she sent me this image of her. It was her quilt show in her area. She got a ribbon, and of course this was Homeward Bound by Sarah Filkey. Look at those flowers, they're beautiful. And right before we went live, congratulations, Carol, by the way. And right before we went live, John came in and said, do you realize that the TQS BOMs have won over 1,000 ribbons when they go in quilt shows? 1,000 ribbons. And the first one for A Little Provenance was by Sue Garman in 2008. And it was a bunch of blocks with flower pots. And I think the TQS star was on a bunch of them, if not all of them, and flowers. And there we just got going. And yay, it has just grown and grown and grown into a very vital community. Oh, we'll get to it. Don't worry. So, hard to hear. I don't know, Linda, why it's hard to hear. John would come running in here. If it were bad, try turning up your volume, okay? So, the next quilt, Kathy sent me this. And this was at a quilt show, and it's ties. So, we're back to that. We're whipping back around to that.
You are a little light.
I am a little.
Can you touch your microphone thing and make sure it's...
Oh, let me make sure my microphone thing is up. Come here, John. That's that. I don't know where my microphone thing is.
The little icon on the right?
Oh, on the right. I think it's up all the way. You mean like the gear?
It's on the screen. It's like where you go get the person in, all those on the right-hand side.
You got to come show me, babes. What are you talking about?
Usually it's over here.
Over here? Is that
Yes.
it? Oh,
Yeah,
no,
the
it's
sound
that.
one.
It's that.
Yeah.
I can push it up a little bit. We'll see if this makes a difference. Okay. Thanks, John. Let me get rid of that. All right. So this brings me to the story. Okay. So Kathy sent this, and then there was a tag on the back of it. And I love this because it gives you the provenance of the quilt. And it's so important for way down the road, but not even way down the road. Freddie's daughter-in-law, who, Freddie's passed away, Freddie Moran, sent me, Freddie's daughter-in-law, Lynn, is in charge of rehoming the quilts that are left of Freddie's collection. And she sent me this. And this is the back of the quilt. And it was Ode to Freddie, designed in peace and quilted by Carrie McDonald, winter 2008. She said she suffers from slight depression every January. This year was the worst. She went to a Freddie Moran lecture during the Folsom Quilt Show. Folsom, people, I'm calling to you. She inspired me, and by working on this quilt, I snapped right out of it. Lynn would like to get this quilt back into the Carrie's hands. And so here's the front of the quilt. Here we go. Let me get rid of this. And there you go. Okay. So if you know this person, please get hold of me so that Lynn can get this quilt that she gifted Freddie back into the maker's hands. And you know how to get hold of me is alexandrsn@gmail. Okay. So, C just said this sounds better. All right. Okay. I am a meanie weenie. Just ask my kids. What I want to do before showing you the BOM is give you some hints. All right. So, first of all, it came to my attention by several people that we wanted something really super traditional. All right. And I'll tell you the truth, Barbara, who's here, has been pounding on the door for that. So we're going to take a look at where this person resides. So mean. And it will explain so much of this quilt. All right. So she lives in Arnold. And when you start looking at her place, if you look, you can see there's quilts tucked here and there. She lives in a log cabin. She does have a place in Livermore. There's another hint for you. All right. Let's see. Here's another one of her log cabin. Quilts everywhere. And there's such a rustic home, kind of like I feel like I'm at grandma's house. Oh, there's another hint. And it was funny because I went to her blog and she changes things out season to season. All right. All right. Here's one of her pieces that I'll bet if we went to her home right now, we would see because it's, giving thanks. It's harvest season. Okay. So this is a piece of hers. Oh, I am so mean. And I love being mean. So this is her calico cottages. Oh, there's snow where she lives sometimes of the year. And then let's take a look at that blog. She loves scraps. That is, oh, I said she. There's another hint. So this is hers. And every year right now, we're kind of running around going, okay, who's going to be the next person? Who's going to be the next person? This is Ribbons Run Through. Okay. I love her work. She is an excellent teacher, excellent, and designer. And she works with Marcus Fabrics. Oh, I'm giving 2 things away, so many things. Heritage, another pattern. Her patterns are fabulous, and she has a full following of people who adore her and love her. And if you don't know her and have not experienced her teaching, yeah. Okay. So it was when we were at market last year, Kristen, Lilo, and I saw this in the Marcus booth and went out of our flippin' mind. So we went to this person and on begged knees said, would you consider doing 2025 BOM? I think it's time we take a look at our video. And pants are on fire because I said in the video, you've already seen it. So I know I'm liar, liar, pants on fire. You're going to see it soon enough. Good morning, Lynn Wilder.
Good morning, Alex Anderson.
Today's the big day. People have been chomping at the bit to see the 2025 BOM, and the designer is California person Lynn Wilder.
Yay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we love this quilt. People have been asking for something very traditional. There's itty bitty bit of applique, but it's mostly piecing, and you are the maven of getting it right, in my humble opinion.
Well, I try real hard.
So there's, first of all, I'm going to say, before we get to the backstory of the quilt, which is fantastic, we had an unusual taping episode with you.
We sure did, and everything turned out great
That's
in the
right.
end.
We, we, we did her in, and she ended up in the hospital. I shouldn't laugh, but oh my god! And she kept saying, "Oh, I hope I did a good job. You did a beautiful job, and no one would be the wiser. You are a pro, 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 pro."
Well, thank you, Alex.
Yeah. Now, before we get going here on the backstory, you, you designed this fabric behind in this quilt, correct?
Correct. The fabric line is from Marcus Fabrics and is called Hearthstone.
Hearth.
Hearthstone. The hearthstone is the center rock in a fireplace in a cabin.
Right, exactly. Okay, so we came up to you after last year's market, and I think you got busy within like 30 seconds. It was formulating in your mind. Tell us about this particular pattern and quilt.
Well, Norma, I think I'm known for very intricate blocks with a lot of pieces. So this time I want to be known for a quilt with a lot of blocks. So should I tell you how many blocks there are in the quilt, or would that scare people off?
Yeah, let's be brave.
All right, there are 220 blocks. The
Okay.
majority of them are 5 inches. So, so there's a lot of them, but you might be making 32 half square triangles. And how easy is that?
Exactly, exactly.
So I started looking at the blocks and then deciding I didn't want to have a lot of seams coming together. So it's easy to put it together because you don't have to worry about a lot of directional seams.
Right, exactly. Thank you.
And with 5 inch blocks, they're easy to block so that you can get them to the 5.5 inches unfinished and then 5 inches finished. So let me show you an example.
Sure, I'd love it. You
All
guys,
right.
she's the consummate teacher, let's just say.
Okay. So here's an example of some of the blocks, and you can see that there are not a lot of seams between the blocks. And
Right.
this is the other colorway that you're going to offer it in two different colorways. So in the directions come in two different colorways, so you know exactly which pattern to cut or which fabric to cut.
Okay, so behind you, you have grandma.
Yes, and I like if I sit correctly, you can see I have horns. Horns or wings. Since Halloween is coming up, I think I'm going to stick with the horns. So, yes, this is the grandmother version. So we have the grandmother and the granddaughter version of this quilt. Two
And the
different colors.
granddaughter's is the pastel one.
Right, right.
Okay. And you've been working on that too. Okay,
Yes.
besides everything else with her health, which she's great now, you're still sewing?
I am still sewing. I am
Yeah.
still sewing.
So let me see another one of the granddaughter, and then I want to hear the story. Look at that. Oh.
I love the plaid.
Is it the same? Is it the same fabric print, just different colors?
Right. Monica is a very talented graphic artist at Marcus Fabrics, recolored the Hearthstone fabric just for the quilt show,
Oh,
so that this will be offered in the pastel colors.
man, I'd be hard pressed on which one to get. So tell us the story because it's a great backstory.
Okay, the story is last year I did a block of the month for Marcus Fabrics called Bridal Path, and it was based on the Packhorse librarians from the 1930s in Kentucky. It was a WPA program started by Eleanor Roosevelt to put women to work. So if you think of the first bookmobile, only on horseback or mule. So these women had 20-mile routes a day to take books back into the hollers of Kentucky and bring literacy to that area. They were paid $28 a day or a month.
I
I'm
was gonna say
sorry.
that's rich a month. Okay.
But when you think of $28 a day and they had to feed their
No,
animals with
$20 a month.
$28 a month. Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
Wait, 28
Maybe
or
my
20?
mind.
Like a buck
No,
a day. A buck a day.
right, right. But they had to feed their animals. They had to, just have the clothing to go out in the wintertime that it was so intense with that. And when the weather was too bad, they would stay and make scrapbooks that would have quilt patterns, recipes, and there are some of these scrapbooks are on display in a museum in Kentucky, and I'd love to go see that.
Where in Kentucky?
I'm not sure.
You
I
don't
will
know?
have,
Okay. Okay. So
but
how
I
did
thought,
grandma and granddaughter come about?
well, uh, I do the traditional applique with the starch method, and then there's the other method where you iron it on and then you stitch. So that would be the granddaughter method to kind of streamline it. So that's, I think, the only place where I streamline it. And my granddaughter is going to, she just graduated with a degree in film from Arizona State. So she is going to be doing all my tutorials, filming me on my tutorials, my granddaughter. So we're all excited about that. And you'll get to see, I live in Arnold up in the mountains. So we're going to be touring my cabin. Hopefully, there will be some snow during some of these so that we can really get the feeling of the quilt and the times. And I will be showing all of my tutorials using the granddaughter fabric, the Laurel Ridge fabric. So the quilt is called Laurel Ridge. There will be a story every month. It's a chapter a month. I have a fictional Packhorse librarian that I am going to elaborate on, and there may be a love interest, and she's going to end up living in Laurel Ridge. I don't want to give too much away.
No, don't give too much away, and I think that's fabulous. And so not only are you going to be teaching us every month,
Right.
you will also be giving us something to read, a chapter, and then the next one, and the next one.
Correct.
Lynn, this makes me so happy.
Well, we'll see. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And the quilt is designed for everyone should be able to find something in it. They'll be learning. Those who are more experienced, it will be a piece of cake. For the others, they'll just be learning something every month, and we'll be building on the skill level every month.
Well, I want to thank you so much, and we've revealed the quilt, and I know everybody's excited, and we'll start selling and shipping, and I can't wait for 2025. And again, we are so honored that you said yes. If somebody asked me, I'd run in the other direction.
Okay. Well, I am so honored that you asked me. And I think I told you in the beginning, I was petrified, honored and petrified, and really put a lot of thought into this one. Well, I put a lot of thought into all of them, but this one was challenging.
Awesome. Well, I shouldn't say awesome, but awesome because what you're giving us is just over the freaking top. So thank you. And of course, the first show of the year in 2025 will be your show. And you'll be going over some details and this and that. But again, you will be teaching monthly, which is a whole thing in itself. A whole thing in itself. Thank you.
Yep. I look forward to that. Thank you, Alex.
Take care. See you around.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So here we are with the 2025 BOM. Let me get out of the way. Grandma version. I think this is just absolutely spectacular. I'm going to show you some close-ups. It is so big that I couldn't get it on completely on the wall, so I've got some great things I'm going to show you. Okay, so it is 90 by 90. Everybody's asking, this puppy is big. It will go on your bed. The other thing I'm going to do in a few minutes is show you the fabric for the granddaughter spring, which is what I believe Barbara will be doing with you. Okay, in the grandmother's autumn quilt, there's 21 fabrics, all right? In the granddaughter spring quilt, there's 14 fabrics. In total, in each case, it's 17 yards of fabric. All right, let me show you some more pictures, all right? It's just spectacular. And Diane Schweikert in Livermore quilted it. So there it is, fall, the whole thing. It's just beautiful. I finally understood it. I'm a slow learner. that the quilt that was behind her was the original colorway, and then Marcus went in with Lynn and updated it. What I love about this particular quilt is it to me it speaks of Lynn's log cabin. It speaks of cozy, it speaks of warmth, all the things on a cold winter day you would want around you to keep you snuggly. Okay. Here is just a beauty shot of some of the fabrics. I'll be showing you more fabrics in a moment here. Except that, yeah, I guess that's right. All right. And then here is the granddaughter, Spring. Now, the great thing is well, not the great thing. We don't have the spring quilt, but Lynn is madly working on it, as well as Barbara Black. So as we mentioned, Lynn will be doing monthly videos as well as Barbara Black. So you have two top-notch people helping you. John, you're coming in here. That makes me nervous. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. Kristen took these beauty shots. All right, so let's take a little close-up here. And it's got tons of piecing, and Lynn does make it achievable. She just does. And then there's a little bit of applique thrown in, which of course you can fuse and do needle turn. But what I can guarantee you with this quilt is you will learn a whole lot. All right, so I know, how do you choose which one? Okay, let's take a look at some of the fabric right here, and then I'll give you more details. Okay, I'm so excited about today. Okay, so here, I want to say too that the pattern is digital. It is not in the kit, all right? And you can get the pattern for free, just the pattern, when you're a member of thequiltshow.com. And it is $49 a year, something like that. So you have to be a member, and you get this along with all the shows, all the perks, whole bit. Okay. Are there 2 colorways to pick from? Yes, Robin. Right here is, will the original colorway be available? I don't think so, Cherry. I don't think so, because that was a year ago. Okay, so let's go through our adorable granddaughters. All right. And it was so funny because Lynn loves to work in the muted log cabin type colors, the warm, I love you, give me a hug colors. And this is bright for Lynn. All right. This to me is spring. Just beautiful. I can't wait to see this one made up too. Okay. So this is your spring. This is the main. Beautiful. All right, let me get that out of the way. And then bring in Autumn, which is Grandma. Don't you love that her granddaughter is being involved with this? I mean, it just doesn't get better than that, you know? So here's this. I don't know which one I'd pick. I mean, really, and I want to reiterate, it's a big quilt. So you might want to think about if your bedroom is more warm or more springy bright. Oh, look at that. You know, Marcus did this just for us, just for TQS. How fabulous is that? Oh, and by the way, Lim was at a quilt show last weekend, and she goes, "Can I have the quilt back and show it?" And we're like, "No." Do the big announce. Okay. Here we go. The Kidders did just a gorgeous job. Just a gorgeous. And remember, Grandma has more pieces. It's the same amount of fabric, but they're just more pieces, all right? So let me tell you the skinny, and then I'll take questions. Yes, okay. Let me go through this, and then I'll look back here. Okay, it finishes 90 by 90. Big. Heavy. It took both John and myself. Okay, 17 yards of fabric. Okay, the pattern is the pattern is the same, you know, and Lynn has spelled it out for us. Again, it's digitally. You have to get it digitally, all right? Because otherwise people could order the kit and then they've got the pattern. So it's kind of a sneaky thing of us. For all that fabric and all this instruction, it is for the kit is $249. That's all, $249. All right. Okay, so the kit ships free to the USA. So that means that if you're in Canada, of which you were just asking, yeah, we do, but it's going to cost you a little bit of money. Sorry, that's just how it is. The kit is excluded. Oh, this is really important. You know, when you become a Star member, you get a 25% shopping spree, one shot in the store. It's excluded from that. We had to keep the price down and not take in consideration a 25%. So it is excluded from that so that we can make the price reasonable. I have to tell you, we did a show with Lynn a while back. She has a book called Patchwork Quilts Made Easy, and she thinks like a mathematician. She's so smart. She is so smart. All right. Okay. Are we selling it in Houston? No, we will not be. It's all online. I'm going to be, no, we're not. So you got to get on it. I think right about now it is live on our site. And remember, you have to be a subscribing member or else you won't be able to get the directions. All right. So let's see. Yeah, we don't have a booth at Houston. Okay. So what is the Barbara Black quilt along? Now, what Barbara has done, okay, Sue Garman was our BOM, as I mentioned a lot in the beginning. And Sue is a magnificent teacher, quilter, pattern writer, etc. And then she passed with cancer. It was horrible. And so Barbara is and in her heart still is a dear, dear friend of Sue's and said, I'll pick it up. So, you know, the teaching and all that. So what has happened in the past is that Barbara once a month would teach you what to do. Well, this year you've got double duty, okay? You've got Lynn and you have Barbara. And I'm not sure who does on the first. I don't know how to space it out because we've never been this lucky to have this opportunity. They're both doing it.
Lynn's doing it. And
Yeah,
Barbara
both.
does an advice thing.
Yeah, okay, so John just said Barbara's will also be an advice thing, you know? So, all right.
Did you mention that we'll release all pattern for the last 3 months on October 1st?
No, come here and tell. John's sitting, I don't want to be the in-between guy.
Hi. So what happens is if you became a member right now, we send these things out. Block of the Month is a monthly thing. But what we do is on October 1st next year, we'll release the last 3 patterns. So if you became a member now, you would not miss a pattern.
Thank you. And then Laura, you just asked if you want your own fabric, so there'll be an option to just purchase the background of the Hearthstone fabric. No, not from TQS. We just had the kits, but I'd be surprised. I honestly don't know. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. I want to suck you in, Kathy. Barbara. You can blame Barbara Black for this. She's been pounding the table. This is what we want. We want traditional, we want piecing, etc. Oh, you people. Will a backing be offered? We haven't, I don't know. Maybe we should. I don't know. You guys, we are organized. We are dedicated to the craft at thequiltshow.com. We are a very small company. And so you kind of see a bunch of pirates rowing the ship, you know, and getting us there. But the one thing I guarantee to you with thequiltshow.com is we are giving you the best that's available today, in my not humble opinion. Okay. There will be fabric recommendations down the road here, so you could scrap it out with your stuff. Oh, so Margaret just ordered. Okay, if you want to do this, don't sit around. Don't sit around. I need to make a lot more. Okay, looks like we would need to make lots of the same. Oh, somebody just shoot. Looks like we would need to make lots of the same blocks each month, or lots of 2 or 3 blocks the same month. I have no idea. I have no idea. All right. So this has been a very, very exciting day. Super excited. Remember, I want to go back to this and end with this because I want to get this quilt back to Carrie McDonald. All right. And again, I'm thinking the people up in the Folsom area will be the ones that can tell me, and I can have Lynn return it. All right. So help me out with that, people. Spread the word. The kit is now available. Both kits are now available. Thanks for watching. Ricky's going to be here Wednesday. And then we're taking off for Houston. I have found the most wonderful house sitter, so I don't have to worry about my cat. I'm paying a house sitter for a cat. And we'll be back. I'll be back after the whole Houston thing is over. And I will tell you, I know Lilo is getting a ton of interviews with people that we can't ordinarily get on the show. So that's very, very exciting. And Lynn Wilder, if you don't know who she is, Google her, check out her stuff. I know you will be very, very impressed. And again, you can watch the show. And in the show, I think we talked about one of the ways her book does patchwork quilts made easy, or patchwork math, or something like that. You might want to check it out. Karen, it's complex, but it's doable. It's completely doable. When she said that you don't have a lot of points lining up together, that is huge. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. Thank you, Barbara, for holding our hands too. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you after Houston. Surely I'll have some stories.